Hi, we're John and Annie Martin. We're from Kenya. We're the executive directors of Teen Challenge of Kenya. Teen Challenge is a ministry that you can't really reach some of these people through your church. And when the men come into the program, they're at a point in their lives where they're so low that the only way for them is either the grave or up. After a year in Teen Challenge, our goal is not to send them out of there sober only. Our goal is sober and on their way to heaven.
They have a concept of grace that many of us will never understand because they're at the end of the rope when we get them. They're often near death.
You know, we have so many stories of God's grace in Teen Challenge. One of the great stories, I think, is we had a pastor come in. He was a Baptist pastor. He talked to us after the service and he said, we've got this one pastor. He says he's got involved in drugs and we've had to take him out of his church. His wife is just about ready to leave him. He's got 2 small children. His name is Wante, and he came to us, and when he came, I thought he was brain damaged. He was one of those guys who had no personality. He would just talk in a monotone voice, really dead eyes, because he was a glue sniffer. But anyway, he came into the program, he finished the program, he's been restored back into his church. Now, he's still not the senior pastor, but they've taken him back. He's the youth pastor now. It's only by God's grace that Wante was able to come from such a place of desperation where he'd even contemplated suicide because his life was so worthless to him. And by God's grace, he was delivered and set free from not only his drugs, but he's restored to his family.
We get to see so many stories of God's grace. We probably have 100 stories. Every young man has a story. We interact with them on a daily basis. They come to us near death, many of them. And within 2 weeks, when they've turned their life over to Christ, that they begin to just change. And it's almost daily. And it's the most rewarding thing to get to see. And we feel very blessed to be a part of that ministry.
Every testimony they give is about what God has done in their lives. It's not about how they've overcome in their own power and strength. They always say, it's only by the grace of God that I am here today, because without God's grace, I would probably be buried in 6 feet under. So when you're praying, pray that you can see the grace of God in your own life and in the life of those around you.